I'm here outside the courthouse in Allegheny County where a preliminary hearing for William Larson Jr. has just concluded. Larson Jr., the 17-year-old Clarksville native who has been charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of manslaughter in connection with the death of his parents. Startling news came out during the hearing in a video shown by the assistant district attorney of a 3-hour-long interrogation between Larson and 2 investigators. In the video, Larson claimed it was his father, William Larson Sr., who killed his mother, Lisa Larson. He continued saying his father threw a knife at him and then he turned a gun on his father, firing a warning shot and then eventually fatally wounding him. Larson was seen leaving the courthouse around 1:30 Tuesday afternoon. Following the hearing, we spoke with Assistant District Attorney Thomas Fuoco.
All I'm going to say is he's presumed to be innocent. He has a right to due process, and it'll be my job to prove him guilty. I'll do that in the court of law. I'm not going to do it in the media. I'm not going to do it through public opinion.
The case is now being moved to the Allegheny County Grand Jury. Larson is due back in court on December 17th at 1 p.m. We will be providing updates on the situation on our social media pages and when SBU TV returns on December 4th. Until then, I'm Tommy Valentine in Belmont, New York, reporting for SBU TV. New Now Next. A sport defined by its physicality and close contact, social distancing has been no easy task for head rugby coach Tui Osborne and his team. So to make the most out of their preseason training, Osborne had to get creative.
We had to improvise and be resourceful, so we bought some pool noodles, if you may. We had to cut them in half just so it's a bit more realistic to how we would tag someone.
The pool noodles were designed for the team's defender. During a drill, rather than having to perform a normal tackle, all the defender would have to do is tag the ball carrier for a tackle to count, allowing them to keep that social distancing. The noodles are now a thing of the past, and the team has already been cleared to transition to using flags instead. Of course, practices are still far from being normal, but there are a few upsides of the new normal.
The one thing that I personally like about these practices that it's smaller groups, so you get a lot more personal development and interaction with the players and the coaches.
Perhaps even more impressive than the creative training techniques is the united approach the team has taken towards going about social distancing protocols the right way.
I tell my coaches, hey, if I'm missing something, let me know. And, I tell the captains, let's try and win this week with the COVID protocol. That's our goal as a coaching staff, is to make sure we're on top of things so everyone's being safe.
Osborne is hopeful his team's diligence and progress will allow them to start playing some intra-squad scrimmages soon. For SBU TV Sports, I'm Tommy Valentine. New Now Next.
Because I'm doing team.
Roughly 500,000 people flock to Holiday Valley each year for the ski season. Running from Thanksgiving to early April, the start of the season is a rite of passage for the most devoted skiers.
When I saw the first snow, I went to my board and started waxing it up back in the end of October.
And preparing to host that many people is no small task. A lot goes into making sure things are running smoothly come opening day.
We usually try to make a lot of snow as much as possible. This year was really cold, so we were able to make a lot of snow in a short period of time. We hire probably 1,000 or more people, and training, and then just polishing everything up.
But the start of the ski season goes beyond just the slopes of Holiday Valley. The increase in travelers and foot traffic means so much to the local businesses that the town of Ellicottville has to offer. The town of Ellicottville pulls in roughly $120 million in revenue each year, with half that coming during the winter season alone. Now, it's no secret that Holiday Valley plays a crucial role in the town's success. Just ask the folks at Dina's Restaurant.
It's invaluable to our success on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's 2 to 3 times as busy in the wintertime as it is during the off season, we'll call it. All of that would not be possible if we didn't have Holiday Valley winter attraction. Ski season is where it's at down here.
While Holiday Valley does so much for Ellicottville, the town has a lot to offer in return.
We have a great relationship with the town. We rely on the town to supply that extra excitement and the nightlife and everything. So it's a symbiotic relationship.
It's clear the place they call the Aspen of the East is ready for another successful winter season. Tommy Valentine, SBU TV, New Now Next. When women's lacrosse midfielder Destiny Johnson realized she could hit the reset button on her senior year, the decision was a no-brainer.
The day we got that eligibility back, there was absolutely no question in my mind. I was going to make it work, hands down. I didn't care what I had to go through, what I had to do. I was coming back, and I'm going to play this year. So the day they gave it, there was no question at all. I was coming back for my 5th year.
The NCAA granted spring athletes whose season was cut short by COVID-19 an extra year of eligibility. And while it's clear players like Johnson are just excited to have one last hurrah with their teammates, so too are the coaches who now have an extra season with their most experienced players.
Having a little bit more of that leadership around and that experience around across the board, has been awesome, and I think will really serve us well over the next, 6 to 8 months. For me personally, I'm so happy that they have this opportunity to continue to have some closure and completion to their collegiate careers.
Johnson is one of 8 student athletes who will be taking that extra year of eligibility. Another one of those student athletes you can find right on this field in the spring, who will be bringing the heat in what he's looking at as a redemption season.
I consider myself a very competitive guy. What competitive athlete would want their senior year to go out the way it did? I want to pitch like I've never pitched before. I want to go out there and just with an attitude here's my stuff, you aren't going to hit it. I've been around the block a few times. I'm going to go out there and just give it my all.
For Johnson, despite leading the women's lacrosse team last year in points, the only thing on her mind right now is serving as a role model for her younger teammates.
My personal goal is to be a good leader and show them this is the program and this is where we're going. We're nowhere where we want to be yet, but we are on the right track.
We can only hope that our spring athletes finally get the senior season they truly deserve. Tommy Valentine, SBU TV Sports, new, now, next.